What is going on, everybody? We are back again with another video. Today is Tuesday, February 17th, 2026. Pretty good day today, very back and forth. I went from being overly bullish to overly bearish to bullish to just back and forth day of price action. But all in all, it was a good day. Was able to come out with one break even, one win. And we will go ahead and get into those exactly. So coming into the morning, one of the first things that I noticed personally was just that we were kind of in a very crucial, I guess you could say, area in price. Like we were trading between this 1 hour bearish gap after Asia's dump last night between buy side, and we had just swept out Friday's low. I believe it was, I can't remember where exactly it was. It was this low right here, but we had swept out this low. So we were kind of just ping ponging between these two areas in price, between these two key levels. Now, one of the biggest things, though, that made me, it was kind of like a pre-existing condition that made me want to lean more bearish, was the fact that we had inverse this 4 hour gap. So this 4 hour gap that was holding up price prior had gotten inversed. And then, like I said yesterday, on the higher time frames, this move up was really just a move up to equilibrium. You can see right there, and then we've been getting continued delivery lower. So when I use the higher time frames overall, I wanted to be more bearish coming into the day, but I also really like this buy side objective. It looked like we were trading up through it, or it looked like we could trade up through it and then either knife back lower or just kind of move around. But all I knew is that we were in a very crucial area in price, and I would do what I could to capitalize on it. So coming into open, I wasn't seeing anything really. I noticed that we came down, we tapped this tiny little 5 minute right here. But we came down, traded up, and then we swept out the internal buy side on both NQ and ES, along with the data highs, because I think we had like orange folder news this morning. But what we didn't do is sweep out these highs up here. We didn't do it on ES either. So we didn't have an SMT. We just edged this high. So at this point in price, I wanted to see a 5 minute tap, and then I wanted to see buy side. This looked super clear. New York Open picked its direction. We started gravitating towards it. I wanted to see buy side get hit, but I told myself that once we started ripping through this, because we did, it was pretty much 1 or 2 minutes into opening up this 5 minute, we started ripping through it. So I told myself, okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set this as my condition. So if we get an inversion to the upside that looks good, I think this could look great up to buy side. If we get an inversion to the downside, I honestly could see us targeting 930 lows, these internal stacked relative equal lows, this low, the 15-minute intermediate low, the hourly intermediate low. It's not like we didn't have sell side lowers. So I was okay with taking a trade in either direction, using this 5 minute as my if then scenario. So obviously, we start working down, working lower, working lower. We start inversing, like we inverse the 1 minute, the 2 minute, the 3 minute, and I'm sure there were people that were taking shorts up in here, which I can't blame them if they did. This definitely felt obvious, but I wanted to wait for the 5 minute for reasons I can't really explain. So I just wanted to wait for the 5 minute. I think it looked cleaner. So and we got hoed. So price was down here like 5 seconds before closing, works its way back up. And from that, if you see price do that, it's more than likely it's gonna be one of those one candle run TPs. So we didn't inverse, no entry for me. I didn't take it. Immediately just start running lower. We run all these internal draws right here, all this lower resistance, trendline liquidity. So we run all of that. And now I'm kind of like, okay, are the draws taken? Are we going to get continued delivery lower? What's going to happen? So I noticed that we opened up this 5 minute. So we have this big 5 minute fair value gap here. And then let me just go ahead and delete the recent drawings. So I ended up I noticed that we were tapping into this 5 minute gap. And so once we tapped into this 5 minute gap, and yes, we swept out these intermediate lows down here, but if I'm going to be bearish on the higher time frames down to this liquidity pool down here, I can at least expect these two little intermediate lows to get swept. You can see them here and here. So although, yes, we swept out the morning low and then this low right here, if I'm expecting continued delivery, there's still draws intact that I could target. So when we tapped up into this 5 minute here after this leg down, and I know I used to say this in videos that I used to post, that fair value gaps that sweep liquidity are important fair value gaps, and this fair value gap did exactly that. This ran all of these draws. So if I am to be bearish, I want to see this fair value gap get respected. So once we tap into this 5 minute, I drop down to my lower time frames. Do we have a 3 minute? Nope. Do we have a 2 minute? Nope. Do we have a 1 minute? Nope. We did have a 2 minute, I will say. I don't know why I didn't realize this like in the trade, but I didn't. So what I did is I took this 30-second inversion. I scaled down to the 30-minute, the 30-second. I saw this inversion. I went ahead. I entered on close because I liked the way that it was just one candle after the 5 minute. Kind of felt like now we're ready to go. So I entered on close. I had just my stop up at the high. And then I was targeting that intermediate low, but I was also totally okay with just taking a 1-to-1 down to the morning low, because I do also have to realize these lows that got swept, like all the lows prior had just been sweeping out the previous low. So this low swept out this low, this low swept out this low, this low swept out this low, this low swept out that low. Like I could keep on going. So these are high resistance lows. So while yes, I was wanting to target the intermediate low, I was perfectly okay with taking a 1-to-1 if I wanted to, like if that's what was offered. Now, where I got lucky with this setup, which I don't think a lot of people did, I could be wrong, but it's just me personally. I have seen far too many times we get a low of day get put in, and instead of retaking the low or whatever it may be, we will get an internal model that plays out to the rejection block of the low. This 10 a.m. wick was very telling on the 1 minute and 30-second on anything. We had an open low high close. So once we got back into the 10 a.m. open, 10 a.m. rejection block area, I just figured the fact that one, we are at high resistance lows, and two, we were opening up a 15-minute at my stop. So my stop loss was becoming an unmitigated fair value gap. It wasn't when I entered, but it was becoming one. So once we tapped into this after this displacement candle, I just went ahead, I protected the trade, I went break even, and then immediately, it was just an immediate break even. The second we get down, I get break even. I told myself, I'll just wait for the 15-minute, that we might just be waiting for the 15-minute. And then I see this candle, thought I may have gotten break even rated, whatever. And then this candle comes in. So I was like, okay, now let me wait for the 15-minute. So now I go to the 15. I'll annotate this for the video. So now I'm waiting for the 15-minute. You can see my stop was right at the 15-minute. And this candle clearly had one direction in mind, and it was going to the 15. So I ended up protecting the trade because of it. It saved me from a loss. Now I can tell myself, okay, we have the 15-minute gap tap. Now let me go ahead and find my entry. So we come into the 15-minute. We leave all these gaps. It's 1 minute, 1 minute. We have 2 minutes. These big 2 minutes. This wasn't really looking the cleanest to me on the 1 and the 2. But so I go to the 3-minute, and I notice that we're opening up a 3-minute. So I just wait for the 3-minute inversion. And this was this was a little weird because normally I won't take a trade that kind of needs to chop through the fair value gap and knife both ways before it inverses. But the draw just felt very obvious. We weren't getting any sustained delivery higher. We reacted well out of the 5-minute. We reacted well out of the 15-minute without sweeping the low. So I at least expected, okay, the draws are intact. I'm still bearish. We have all the mechanics supporting bearish price action. Let me go ahead and take a stab short. So what I did is I went ahead and entered on close right here. I had my stop somewhere up here. I was targeting this low. Or no, I targeted a little bit below this. So I had my stop at the body of the candle right here. And then I just went for a 1-to-1. Like I just had a limit at a 1-to-1. I didn't like the fact... I'm getting ahead of myself. The break even was at this low because of the fact. So this is where the kind of wishy-washy stuff came in. So this is what the trade originally looked like because I expected at least to go sweep low of day. That would be my break even, and then we could milk some more out. But as we started trading lower on NQ, ES was already taking low of day. So what I did was I just went ahead and took profit at a 1-to-1. You can see I am up $527 on each of these evals. So I just went ahead and went for the 1-to-1. I didn't like the S&T. I didn't like the fact that I had just gotten break even. I didn't like the fact that I had missed the 5 minute short. We were already kind of like the main draws were taken, and yes, this felt like a very high quality draw. I think in hindsight, I may have been marrying it a little bit, so I was perfectly okay with just taking the 1-to-1 here. Clearly, it ended up playing out really well. It served me well, but all in all, it was a great day today. It was the missed trade, break even, flipped my bias a bunch, but ended up coming out 1R. So that's all I can really ask for. It was a super clean, super textbook day in terms of the setups that I took, both of which were very mechanical setups. So nothing too crazy to get into. But that is pretty much all that I have for today. I will leave you all with that, and I will catch you guys hopefully tomorrow, if not in the next one. I hope that these evals are pretty much halfway done now. Brought them out of drawdown, brought them to halfway today. So hopefully just, 1, 2, 3 more days of trading on these, and then we will be revamping the Road to Payout series or just go ahead and clapping some payouts. So like I said, leave y'all with that, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.